What's up, guys? We're here for another live event now. Force 15 here, just sort of starting off now. We also have here Jason, which is on actually on Force 13 as well. So he's Force 13 for now. We also have David.
Hello.
See that? And Craig.
Oh,
Now let's start business off with Hurricane Patricia. Updates just come in from the National Hurricane Center only not that long ago, that we now have confirmation that Patricia is a 200 mph Category 5 storm with and also has a pressure of 880 millibars, and further deepening is expected, which could actually rival the record set by Typhoon Tip for the lowest central air pressure. Though Patricia has already broken the record for fastest intensification by dropping 102 millibars from 994 to 892 in just 24 hours.
and also for those who don't know what the storm looks like, this is the monster this is what the beast looks like. The 200-mile-an-hour beast. Further intensification is expected from the hurricane, or as now I can call it as a hypercane. It is now expected to peak with winds of 180 knots. Can you believe? Which I think is what, 205 miles per hour? I think, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 205 miles per hour.
105 miles an hour. Could actually even be 210, I think.
I need to check that one up actually, see what's the difference here. But tropical, well, this is what the actual National Hurricane Center would say: 180 knots at landfall. Unbelievable. You wouldn't really see that coming. To be honest, I didn't. Obviously to weaken down to depression. Obviously after making landfall. No real surprise. Obviously, it was due to hostile conditions like mountains and high wind shear as well, but high wind shear, I don't really think that's going to be a problem for Patricia at all, to be honest. The RAM satellite imagery, a lot deepening shown towards the center, obviously, is showing that this eye has become very well defined, shaping itself to be probably one of the best looking hurricanes you'll possibly ever track. I mean, I'm speechless even just looking at it.
We all are speechless.
Oh yeah.
I think this is actually confirmed that this is the strongest storm in a generation.
Oh yeah, it is.
Definitely.
By a mile, it is. There's no doubt in it. It is the strongest hurricane. And what in the century did you say there, Michael? Because if you said that,
it's the strongest hurricane in the Eastern Pacific since reliable records began.
Yeah, it is indeed most intense. With the air pressure is what it's down to 880. I'll probably put that down a little bit lower, but not much. But this thing could also be rivaling, well, it looks like it will be rivaling Typhoon Tip. Unbelievable. It's
unlikely due to its proximity to land, though
yeah,
it's on the cards.
Still got a chance. It's still got a chance.
There is still the chance there, but the rate has been intensifying now. It is on the cards.
Yes.
So yes, we also now have confirmation that Patricia has now broken 2 records, which is the one with the fastest intensification. And actually now they've updated it that it's actually now dropped 114 millibars in 24 hours. From 994 down to 880. And also it's has the record for the most intense official 1 minute maximum sustained surface winds of 200 miles an hour, which has now beaten out the record for Typhoon Haiyan. So it's now the strongest storm worldwide ever.
It's blown Haiyan, Hagapit, every other very strong Cat 5 out of the water. Basically, if you like to put it that way. But
And
It,
actually, we
it,
also have confirmation. Preparations have been made in Michoacan, Colima, Jalisco, and I think that's Narit. 782 shelters have been opened on October 22nd with a collective capacity of 258,000 people. Officials in Manzillo began distributing sandbags during the afternoon of October 22nd. Schools across Jalisco suspended activities for October 23rd.
yeah.
And we also do have confirmation now that I believe, just looking it up now, 6 people have already been confirmed dead by Patricia, though that is likely to rise as this storm moves on land,
Oh, yeah.
and landfall likely in the next 24 hours.
Yes.
And this
And we
could be
will be monitoring that.
this could be one of the most catastrophic storms ever felt in pretty much the world, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably the worst case scenario right now. Um, it's hard to really put into words. What damage will it do? Will it devastate? Which I think it will devastate.
The
This
current.
is
Go ahead, Craig.
it's storm surge height as of recent, but this is JTWC has not updated as of yet. But the latest I knew of the storm surge height was 46 feet. Now,
Which
due
is
to its
likely
rate
to
of
rise.
intensification, well, how high would you actually think that the storm surge height would be? It would be in the 50s at
Probably
least.
a good. I'd say probably a good 65 to 70.
Possibly, but we need to see what the JTWC update is. It, it,
Um,
what
just
we
looking.
have to also take into account is, 205 mile an hour peak expected. Nah, sorry, Mayor Michael, you go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was just saying as well. Um, that really, it's just like
Yeah.
you can't really put into words, can you?
Mm.
Just looking on the Facebook page as well. Waddis Weather and Disaster Information Sharing International has shared a post about like the special advisor of Patricia that I posted around about
Yeah.
55 minutes ago, and just oh, oh, it's just it shocks you like the power of these storms as well, doesn't it?
It is a real shocker. You don't expect power like it. I mean, if you see, we've seen the likes of 195 miles an hour from Haiyan, but then we saw Sodalor this year, 180 miles an hour, but then boom, along comes Patricia, blowing Haiyan and near enough every Cat 5 out of the water, breaking records left, right, and centre. That's how impressive this hurricane is. And I'd also like to stress, well, I don't think we could stress this enough, but people on the coast of Mexico in the path of Patricia, please heed these warnings and watches. This is a very serious hurricane with winds of 200 miles per hour. Expected to become a 205 or 210 mile an hour category 5 hurricane, or as I'd call it, a hypercane now. I don't think anyone really could stress these warnings enough because it's a very bad hurricane.
Okay, I'll give you guys now the current information. So, as of 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time on Friday, October 23rd, this is advisory number 14 from the National Hurricane Center. It is now currently on the Saffir-Simpson scale a Category 5 hurricane, intensified very quickly over the past 24 hours. Currently, maximum sustained winds are 175 knots or 200 miles an hour, which on the Dvorak scale is Dvorak 8, highest on the scale for the Dvorak.
Well,
The minimum
the
central air
latest
pressure
Dvorak
is
rating.
yeah. Oh, Okay. Minimum
Sorry,
central air
Michael.
pressure is 880 millibars, located at 17.0 degrees north, 105.5 degrees west, not that far from the southwestern coast of Mexico. Possible direct landfall point looks as though that it could be anywhere sort of in the vicinity, going from, I believe, need to double.
Puerto Vallarta or Manzanillo.
From the look of it, it's going to be in the Jalisco area of Mexico, possibly between anywhere between Puerto Vallarta and possibly down to Manzillo. Sort of we're looking in that area for a direct landfall in that vicinity, and also we're quite worried as well because that area of Mexico is a very densely populated area, especially on the coast there too. Um, just saying to everyone watching, and also to, and if you're in Mexico, please make yourself known on the comment section. We're just, it's basically we're scared for people now because this is the most strongest storm ever seen on this planet. Like officially, because I think there was an unofficial record for the wind speeds, which was 215 in 1961, set by Typhoon Nancy.
But to be honest, as we already know, 2015, obviously El Nino year. This was going to be a year of records being smashed and also history being made. The first history that was made was Cyclone Banzi, which started 2015 off with a bang, Category 5 right off the bat. Then we had Cyclone Eunice making history down in the South Indian, being the most intense there. And then we had Pam in the South Pacific, the second most intense cyclone in the South Pacific since Cyclone Zoe of 2000. I think, was it 2002 or 3? I think it might have been 2003. I'm not sure. And then we had Typhoon Dolphin breaking records there in the West Pacific as being another Cat 5. Maysack being the earliest.
Cyclone Zoe was formed on the 23rd of December 2002, dissipated on the 1st of January 2003.
No. Maysack, as I said, being the earliest Category 5 in the West Pacific. Dolphin, I'm not sure what history that made, but I know it did break a record or something.
Also, actually, Typhoon Higos as well.
Higos did that.
Was the earliest major typhoon in the Pacific Basin, in the Western Pacific.
Yep, we had Higos making history. We had.
Yeah, here we go.
Then we had.
It says, at its peak, Higos became the strongest typhoon on record in the month of February since 1970.
And then quite a bit later on, we had the triple major hurricane duo in the Pacific. We had Jimena, Ignacio, and Kilo, the 3 major hurricanes active at one time, which made history.
They were all Category 4 at the same time.
Exactly. Made history, and now we have Patricia smashing records, cleaning everything, cleaning everyone off.
Oh, go ahead, Craig.
Nah, you go ahead, Michael. You started.
Okay. We're just saying. Saying this to you guys watching, as well as the guys on the chat here. Do you guys think that this storm could actually? I don't mean this storm. I mean this season even in the Pacific. Do you think this could be the most active Pacific season on record?
Well, we are tied with 1992 for major hurricanes. We are on 10 major hurricanes in the East Pacific. Let me just read you out the stats for
Oh, Craig, your mic's gone.
Craig, your mic's gone. Yeah.
Is it actually gone?
No, you're
Or is it
back now.
back?
You're
No,
back now.
just had
Back.
a little glitch there.
Yeah, you're back now.
I was convinced that I had someone mute me. But anyway, I'll read out the stats. First system formed on May 28th, which was Andres. Obviously, no last system dissipated. Strongest storm. No prizes for guessing what name that is.
I'm probably just gonna sum up quickly. Just the season. So it's been actually a very, very busy season for major hurricanes. With knocking off two major. Actually, no, that sounds wrong. Knocking off. Okay, it was like. Oh, shit.
Michael.
That's going in bloopers. That no. So it started off with two major hurricanes, two Category 4 hurricanes, Andres and Blanca. 145 for Andres and 140 for Blanca. Then we had we had Carlos Cat 1. Then we had the spur of the three Central Pacific tropical storms, being Ila, Halola, and Ioun. Although Halola
Yep.
moved out into the West
West
Pacific and
Pacific
became a
became
Category
typhoon.
2 typhoon. Then we had Dolores, a Category 4. And after that,
Yep.
we had Enrique and Felicia, both two tropical storms that we didn't really take much notice of.
No.
Yeah, and then we
No.
had Tropical Depression 8, which no one took notice of.
No.
Tropical Depressions never really get anything unless they make landfall, really. Then we had Guillermo, which we really thought could have been number 4 major hurricane. But only peaked as a 110 mile per hour Category 2 hurricane.
Came close.
It was forecasted to become a major hurricane, but didn't. But luckily, the next storm, although not luckily for people that are affected by it, but luckily for our storm trackers, Hilda became the 4th Category 4 storm, winds of 140 miles an hour. Then Tropical Depression 11 came along, and it was Kilo. And after that, it was Kilo, which was also a Category 4 hurricane. Out in the Central
Before
Pacific.
that, we had Loki. We had Hurricane Loki, Cat 1.
Loki formed the day after Kilo.
Yep. And then
And it was Ignacio
we had
and Jimena,
Ignacio
the
and
two
Jimena.
Category 4s.
Jimena came close. They're Cat 5, but it didn't.
Jimena was forecasted but didn't come to pass.
Same too with Blanca.
Yeah, Blanca was also forecasted. But then that NHC didn't say that about Patricia, and look what happened. It's just the National Hurricane Center jinxing it.
Yeah. And then this is as I said, this year is about history and records being broken. This is
Especially in the
2015
past
can be
2 to 3 months.
Danny was a record breaker. Funny one.
Oh yeah, but as we could say, 2015 has probably had the most records broke and most history made. So this year is the year of history. This is the most historic year for storm tracking.
Records broken this year have been, so far we've got the fastest intensification, most intense official 1 minute maximum sustained winds, and that's actually it. It's also the strongest storm worldwide, which has also been broken.
It's
breaking
records.
Close. I think it's also close to breaking. I think it's also close to breaking the highest storm surge.
I'm not sure what the highest was. I'm not sure what the highest one is, but I know earlier this year, the highest that we had this year, I think, was Cyclone Pam with 52 feet.
We've just got a comment in from the Alpha Wolf, just saying that. I like the name, by the way. I think that's Weather Underground. They only initially forecast Patricia to be a Category 1 or Category 2 at landfall. Well, really, just saying this to you, Alpha Wolf. Stuff can change because a lot of storms that have been forecast to intensify haven't. and it's like also with some other storms as well. Some
Oh yeah.
were some weren't forecasted, and then it just explode. It's like someone dropped a bomb into it.
Oh yeah. It's one of those areas. But here's the thing, now. It was due to the right ingredients to cause this.
Yeah, it was
Low
pretty
wind
much in.
shear,
It's pretty.
no
It's pretty
dry
much in the
air.
same. It's pretty much in the
Yeah.
same conditions of Haiyan, wasn't it?
Near enough, yeah. Very warm sea surface temp. Pardon. Sea surface
It's
temperatures.
abnormally warm.
Well, in that area, yes, it is. Especially for this time of year. Well, not exactly this time of year, but during the early parts of the season, mid-season, that sort of range in that area, it is normally warm. Mid-season, it is very warm. Let's put it this way: it is very, very warm. But it is down to sudden changes like this.
NHC are also forecasting that it was going to be 205 miles an hour at landfall. Also with winds gusting to 255 miles an hour, and if that does happen, then
We've got a record broken again.
it will break the record for the highest wind gusts, which will surpass Cyclone Olivia in Barrow Island, Australia, in April of 1996.
I'm just gonna check. Oh, here we go. 180 knots in miles per hour is 207 miles per hour. So we're looking at a very strong landfall. Very, very strong. To be honest, this is probably the one where it's gonna get a lot of folk and people worried. And it's also starting to watch because for storm trackers, I'm not saying like we all want this to happen.
Really,
But
for storm trackers, this is a
Cat 5 is good for
once-in-a-generation
morale.
storm. This is
Yeah, but
actually
for
a
storm trackers as
once-in-a-generation.
well.
That's
Yeah, but
that's
for storm trackers as well. No, for storm trackers as well. Cat 5s are good for for keeping storm trackers interested in tracking storms. But we all, yes, we do, are very worried about Patricia making landfalls of 207, but I'm going to round up to
But
210 miles per hour.
Just to say, I'm going to swear now, but anyone
Oh, God.
in the area of the storm should get the fuck out now.
Yeah.
You could have bleeped yourself
I
out there.
cannot put it more bluntly. They need to get the hell out of there.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's true as well. That is true.
They need to get the hell out because it's going to intensify a little bit more. Even 5 miles an hour can make a difference.
Yeah. If you get a 2000, whoa, that's a big jump. 5 mile an hour change. Don't underestimate it. And as was said in an earlier live update, I think David said that this is Mother Nature showing that she can be vicious. And this is Patricia. Well, you've got a point there, David, because this is Mother Nature showing what she can do. She's showing her power, her fury. I mean,
there's enough examples that support that view.
If anyone underestimated the power of a 200 mile an hour Category 5 hurricane, well, you're a fool. You're a fool just for doing that. Because 200 miles per hour, that's probably the equivalent of what, of an EF4 tornado or an EF3. I'm not quite sure. I think it's an EF4 tornado in the enhanced Fujita scale. I'll need to check that one up as well. Let's check it. But I know it would be a very strong tornado if it was one, but it's obviously it's a hurricane, so it's going to cause more widespread damage. So there we go.
Jason.
Yep.
Just looking at that thing that you sent to the group.
Yeah.
looks pretty interesting actually.
The models for GFS.
It still has Patricia going.
Hmm.
God. This, guys, I think.
Just speechless, really. Hard to
Oh, it's
say anything.
stunning.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't really think you can. I don't think there's any words to to describe it really, because it is that awesome. But it's not awesome when you're gonna see a landfall out of it. That's the last thing we wanted to see. Um, it's
Guys, looking at the
yeah,
model
Michael.
runs, GFS has the storm moving sort of a bit further north than the landfall's anticipated.
Mm.
Um, looking
Oh,
at the nav gem, um, that has a landfall round about where the NHC are forecasting it to be. CMC, it's that one's debatable as to where that's going to go. Also, possibility of a new, very deep system as well, heading towards. Well, actually, not that deep, maybe. I don't know, but it looks like there's a possible, quite a major storm heading towards the Baja Californian Peninsula, possibly in the
Mm.
next 190 hours, which is around about a week away. Um, so it looks as though that we could get a few more storms developing here and there.
Hmm.
And also ECMWF, just looking at that has the storm pretty much landfalling at the same point that that Patricia, I mean, at the same point that National Hurricane Center forecast Patricia to be. So I
Yeah.
lost my train of thought there.
I've also found the wind Fujita scale and what Patricia is equivalent to right now. She is equivalent to a EF3 tornado. She's equivalent to that, but on her peak, she will be the equivalent of a low end EF4. So she's a very, very
And also,
strong.
that's going to be a sustained period of time.
Yeah, that's probably that's 1 minute. Probably, but it is a very big sustained period of time, as you said. This is probably the last thing you want to be thinking.
Hmm.
Well, we're all gonna have to think about it at some point. But what will it cause a humanitarian aid? Don't want to sound alarmist, but could it end up causing that? I do not want to sound alarmist, but will it cause one? That's the next call.
I've cited a posting where Mexico could now be under a state of emergency watch.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that one, David. I would agree because I don't know. I don't really know how to put this into words. Really, it's very hard because it's just a stunning power of nature's just spun up, and it's just, as I said earlier, it's just like it's just Mother
Um,
Nature showing her power and
accurate,
what she can do.
And sending
accuracy on
out a
the
very
comment
clear
is,
message again.
guys, they
Yeah.
got the comments are going crazy at the moment. So we've got
Oh.
Jesper.
Oh.
Jesper's here. So hi, Jesper.
Oh.
Also the Alpha Wolf as well.
Um.
Jesper commented saying El Nino's fault, and Alpha said, "I agree, Jesper."
Hmm.
And if only it would stop. El Nino is not even at its peak yet. The Alpha Wolf said, and Jesper was saying, "See what winter brings, especially in Europe."
Oh
Because
yeah.
if you guys remember back to 2010 winter,
Yep.
in the Northern Hemisphere, that was a very especially cold winter with a very strong El Nino event that year. Even though the Atlantic season was still very active as well. But also looking, this Jasper says that it might not be very snowy, but very volatile cold.
Yeah, that's true. What's the sort of conditions in it? What will it bring?
It's going to be it's going to be interesting. Either way.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Mm.
And for those that Twitter, what is Patricia is ranking number 5 top issue on the USA trend for Twitter.
Oh, gee.
So it's ranking 5.
This is also going to make British national news as well, possibly
Yeah,
later today
it's
or
going to.
tomorrow.
Mm.
It's alarming. It really is.
I will possibly give the Met Office a call
Oh god.
to see about it, because we're tracking it and things. Oh my god. As I said
Well, the Met Office
to
storm
everyone
trend,
as
man.
well, if you
Mm.
are in the path of this storm, get the
Get
hell
the.
out of it.
Right, there we go. I just bleeped you. Just in
And
case we did swear.
here's another posting on Twitter: 200 mile per hour. Are you kidding me? Question, question, question. This is amazing, Patricia.
Mm.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
warm
We did
waters
it.
off the coast of Mexico there.
Very.
And the MJO phase is heading, well, sort of going into the Indian Ocean, in between the Western Hemisphere and the Indian Ocean.
Ah, the old MJO pulse.
Yep.
Now, that would probably be a first for the Force 13 team. Can you bring that one back?
What?
MJO pulse. Just go back to that one.
Yeah. Um,
Now, what's the date on that one? Can you just scroll up?
okay. It's for the 12th of September to the 21st of October.
Okay, I'll just bring it up again.
Yep.
Okay, now looking at that, you see the inner circle,
Yep.
and you've got the blue, the green.
Yep.
Now, the maritime continent,
Yep.
I think that's Australia.
Yep. That's the one.
And so long as the pulse remains outside the circle, that
Mm.
means that it becomes more active. And I think it's a 60-day cycle.
Yeah.
So I think looking at that, it's still inside the. Is it the blue that's the current track?
Yep.
Okay, well, once it gets outside the circle, then the scene becomes interesting. So anything in the circle, it's very weak.
Yeah. I
And
think.
that's one that I'll be keeping a close eye on during the Australian summer.
Yeah. That green area that goes outside the circle, I think that's when that storm system that happened near the Solomon Islands happened. Was it O2F or O2P? Yeah.
I
It
should
was,
say to the audience or the viewers, the Australian Weather Bureau, they do regularly update this item during the summer months. But this
yeah.
is available internationally too.
Hmm. Here, the water vapor, not much dry air, still lingering south of the Baja California Peninsula and going out to the
Oh yeah.
northwest rather, the East Pacific.
Have we
Um,
got imagery for the dry air over the?
the
Yes, I'll
flow,
just get that up for you, David. I'll just get that. I'll just get it.
the
I
dry
noticed this
air.
earlier, last week. I'll try again anyway.
Hmm,
Yesterday, that there was a dry air hurricane in the Atlantic. Believe it or not.
yeah.
What I mean by that is that it's not
Okay,
actually
I'll
a
go to the
hurricane. That's
Joint
no, not
Typhoon
exactly.
Warning Centre
Oh, wait
has
up.
just updated. Patricia.
Oh, okay.
The Joint Typhoon Warning Centre has Patricia located 163 nautical miles southwest of Manzanillo, Manzanilo,
Tanzania.
Mexico, has tracked northwest at 8 knots over the last 6 hours. Maximum significant wave height is 50 feet.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So they've updated it. It's tracking northwest at 8 knots over the last 6 hours. And if somebody could bring up the chart.
The chart for the actual
Uh,
graphic warning.
from the Joint Typhoon Warning Centre for
Joint Typhoon Warning
Patricia.
Center. I'll get that up. I've got it up now. I'll screen share that.
So I think the track has changed, and it's now.
Yeah, the tracks like this. That believe it or not, I'm using the mid office here. This is, dare I say it, is this something that's similar to what the track has for? No,
Okay, I'm back.
Just bring that up again.
category 5. Patricia,
Just
still
spoken.
little change. So that's the intensification. Then peak at landfall, weakening
Hey
rapidly,
guys, I've
then weakening
just
slightly.
spoken. I've just spoken to the Met Office. And they're agreeing with the National Hurricane Centre that this will get 205 before weakening. It'll possibly make,
Ah,
as far as we can see, it will probably make the national news, possibly either at lunchtime or
Yeah.
tonight.
probably at lunchtime, I presume. But let's just have a little reminder here. What's going on here in
No,
the tropics?
that
Hey,
The
track
Jason,
is different.
Yep.
let's have a little reminder here. Let's have a
um,
look. I'm calling myself out
actually,
there. Sorry.
Craig, shut up
Yeah.
a minute. We're gonna actually,
Hi. Very
yeah,
rude.
we're gonna say, we'll let Jason and David talk now.
Oh,
Yes.
Let them get a word in.
Okay,
yeah,
who's got the track up from the Met Office? Because that is completely different to the JTWC.
well, I don't use the
Stop
metal.
Somebody,
muting me.
Yeah.
if somebody can
Uh,
bring up
Stop.
the Navy one.
Navy.
hmm.
Stop it, Michael. I'm checking who's doing it. Stop adjusting my audio level. Stop it.
I'm just,
Um,
it's because I'm trying to keep.
warning. Warnings that are in effect. I don't know if they probably have better been made out. Warning areas here. Cat 5 landfall, as we already know. For Patricia, very strong, 205 miles an hour, possible 207 miles an hour as it was rounded up. Equivalent to an EF3 tornado, but an EF4 on landfall. Also, other storms that are active. Hurricane Olaf, back as a major. Don't know
It's
how it's done that, but it
back to
has.
Category 3 hurricane now.
Yep. Also, elsewhere, well, no more
Yeah,
tropical
also
depression taking
CPHC
place.
have now confirmed it as well, that it is back up to major, though this is expected only to be brief, as they're now forecasting it to weaken again.
Yes, and then 26W, tropical depression. Well, it's depressed a lot of us, but there we go. And that's dissipated anyway because it didn't really get anywhere due to high wind
It was
shear.
at one point actually forecasted. That was forecast to become a tropical storm, then a typhoon. At one point.
Yeah, models were predicting it, but
I think
they were
we'll
only
wrap up
predicting an
a couple of
extratropical cyclone out of it.
I think
But
it's because of a sort of Fujiwara effect with Champy.
and also 93W. But also, as
It's been a sort
Michael
of
just said, the
Fujiwara.
name Champy, which is a 100 miles an hour Category 2 hurricane, which briefly re-intensified to a Category 3 typhoon, and here is what's left of what was Super Typhoon Kopu, which made landfall in the Philippines as a super typhoon, of course, causing a lot of damage, leaving 16,000 people without homes. That was the last time I knew, and I'm not sure how many deaths it caused and how many injuries there is. Probably went up, or it's either gone down. I don't know. I haven't, well, we haven't heard any news, but that's what's left of Kopu anyway. That's as far as I know. That's all of them. I think there's a couple of Invest Active 90S, which is doing really well, considering it's being surrounded by wind shear. Invest 92S. I don't know if is that supposed to become anything, Jason?
the western side is pretty much sheer because of the shear has been increasing quite a lot. And the last I looked, Invest 92S was inside of a small pocket of low wind shear, but the surrounding area was in high wind shear.
I don't know if there's any other invest. That's probably it. But there's also something that we've alerted before going live. This little area here, which could lead to Rick. This is a spin-off from Hurricane Patricia. This could be Rick. So this is basically Patricia has now become a mother. Oh God.
Patricia's pregnant.
Well, she was. She gave birth to what could be Rick. Let me just stop it. Rick is what could be Rick is right here. We saw it spin off of the back end of Patricia. It looked like it was already rotating. I need to see some satellite imagery of it. But that's all the storms that are active at this precise moment in time.
I think we'll wrap it up pretty
Just
soon.
just quickly do it as well. Just go off topic for a little bit.
Okay.
We're just going to do a little hyper world update now, just quickly.
Sure.
Just to fill in a bit. So current, thanks for Jason for updating it for me because
I haven't really. I don't know if I've fixed the thing yet.
well, we just got confirmed in now. We've got 9 storms active worldwide in hyper world. We have extra tropical storm Olma, which I think is actually dead. I don't know yet. I think it's still going, but around about 80 degrees north, which is actually quite fast north for an extra tropical cyclone. And we also have active now a major hurricane Valerie with winds of 150 miles an hour. Named it after my mum. Her grand was 200 miles an hour, Hurricane Sandra. And then we also have active Tropical Storm Richard, or Tropical Storm Dick as some people would call it.
Right.
And it's a British term.
Yes, yes.
I don't know where it's derived from though. And we also have extra tropical storm Quincy, which has made landfall, and also Invest 96D, and as well as we have tropical storm Adam in the Falls Republic area of responsibility in RSMC Orchard City, and also we have the remnants of Bev, and also tropical storm Gary too, which possibly heading to the island Kenora Island. Um, though Craig's area of responsibility has been relatively quiet in RSMC Kilmarnock and Killy area.
Yeah.
I did have a subtropical invest, but it didn't become anything.
Mm.
Mm.
It
I think
Well,
dissipated.
Alma's pretty much dead, if I'm honest. So that's
And as
it's
we
pretty much
like to say, it's wrecked.
yeah.
Mm.
Alma is wrecked. Hashtag wrecked.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll wrap it
Okay,
up. Yes.
people, Jason and I, we
Yep.
have other things that we have to attend to. So,
Oh yeah,
in winding up, any further comments?
I've got comments here actually from the guys watching. Said we've got is this storm done peaking from Henrik Panosian. I think that's Korean. I don't know. And this Alpha Wolf said, I'm not sure. It's predicted 205 miles an hour before making landfall, although one model makes that 220 miles an hour, and
Lord.
it's already dethroning Haiyan, which we already knew that before, and Wilma as well. The Alpha Wolf said, strongest storm was I believe Super Typhoon Nina decades ago. I think it was actually Nancy with unofficial wind speeds were recorded at 215 miles an hour. Also saying QT Tay Wu
that's
says, hey, I'm
every
curious about NHG's update time, which
every
I
few
believe is
hours.
around about every 2 to 3 hours now because of
Mm.
this developing story of Hurricane Patricia.
Yeah.
As well as we've got in terms of pressure, tip was the strongest of at 870 millibars, though it's likely that the storm, if it intensifies further, could actually break that record too. David T. Oh, that's you, David, isn't it? It says every 3 hours NHC. Then we've got Henrik Punasan saying Haiyan was believed to be 858 millibars, I think. It was said that, but I don't believe they have changed it. I think they kept it as it was in the postseason analysis. According to the Dvorak scale, yes. And also, QT Wu says thanks, and only Nancy and Tip is the last one standing. There's like Patricia's in the boxing ring, like, come at me, bitches, and then beats them up, beats them
Right,
up with
Yeah.
Michael.
category fives.
Michael, we
Yeah.
are live. Halt.
So,
Enough
oh,
swearing.
Okay,
sorry,
people.
sorry.
And I think they'll wrap it up, I guess. So,
Yep.
Unless you guys want to do guess the storm.
Nah.
not.
Jason's got
Not
other
particularly.
things
Go on,
he
you know
did
you want to,
indicate.
just for a little bit. Go on.
Nah. Too serious a situation. Not with a
David?
200-mile-an-hour Cat 5.
Yeah, David?
Actually, guys, just guess this one, okay? Just guess
Ah.
this one.
I have to leave
No.
soon.
Can we just do just one? Just
But
one.
just one, hurry up, because I've got to go.
Okay, I will. Here we go. Okay, share entire screen. Present to everyone. Okay, guess this storm. We got to do. We got to do a delay for the guys watching. Have you guys got any ideas? Do you think? Just don't say them yet.
Yeah,
No.
Have you guys got any ideas then?
That's Patricia.
Correct.
That was obvious.
Right. Okay, Nathan, back to you. Sorry, not Nathan. He's not here. Jason, back to
Yep.
you, mate.
Alright, I think that's all for now for the updates on Hurricane Patricia.
Yeah. Okay. Seriously, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope
Yep.
you
And stay
enjoyed this
safe.
show.
Yeah, please stay safe and heed the warnings. This is a very strong storm. And yeah, thank you. Goodbye, and see you
Thank
later.
you guys for watching.
Cheers for now.
Bye.